G'day guys. So today's video, it's all about the Losi Micro T. Now I've been quite excited about doing this video. This is something I've been looking forward to doing for a little while now, because when Losi released the Micro B, I thought to myself, oh, they're obviously going to at some point release the Micro T. Now, I've always wanted one of these, and some of you younger audience may not be keeping up with what I'm going on about here, but back in 2007, before it became Team Losi Racing and everything, it was Team Losi, and back at the time, it was the Triple XT Stadium truck. That was their race truck, their electric race truck. And then they came out with the Mini T, which was I think it was a 1/18 scale stadium truck. And they also came out in 2007 with the Micro T, which was this little guy. And I wanted one ever since then. So I'm kind of showing my age here. So yeah, I always wanted one, but I could never get my hands on one. And the thing you got to remember too, for the younger audience, this was way before things like PayPal and Afterpay and what was there's some other one going around. And not only that, in the world of the internet, online hobby shops weren't, especially here in Australia, they weren't really big. And so if they were, it was more of a advertising thing. So I couldn't get my hands on one. And not that I really like to speak ill of people. However, my local hobby shop back then, the fella that used to run it, he was very dogmatic, and he refused to deal with the, I think he called it the wholesaler of Team Losi, whoever it was back then. So he wouldn't order one because he didn't want to deal with the wholesaler. So I couldn't get one. So when Losi announced that they were releasing the new Micro T, I pretty much pimp slapped the pre-order button. So it's finally here. So let's go over to the workbench and let's have a quick look at it. All right, guys. So here it is, the Losi Micro T, and I honestly have not unboxed it, opened it yet. I pretty much just plopped it on the table here and grabbed my camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and open it as best I can with what I got. I know I should have a knife somewhere, but I don't. So let's see how we go opening it. So far so good. And like I said, I've been looking forward to this thing coming out. And with this you get two different colors, and so I've obviously got this one here, but you can also get it in this style with the yellow wheels as well. But I'm gonna have to pop the camera here for a second, and here is everything. So it is ready to run. So you get, it's because Horizon Hobby has own Spectrum and Losi and things like that. It comes with a simple little USB Spectrum charger. You get some batteries for the radio, some stickers, and your instruction manual. And here is the radio for it. So it's a simple Spectrum radio there. So we'll put that aside. and I've got to get myself some scissors. So I've got to cut these out. So I'm going to pause here for a sec, guys, and I'll just cut the zip ties and it'll be on the table. All right, guys, so here it is finally after, well, honestly, guys, it's been nearly 20 years, but I've finally got myself a Micro T, and I can tell you, I cannot wait to have a go with this. So you're probably wondering, why would I want to get something like this after all this time? Part of it's the nostalgia. However, something like this is great to muck around with inside, because as we speak right now, well, as I'm recording this, it is winter, and this, I'll show you a quick clip of my backyard 2 days ago. So yes, guys, for my non-Australian viewers, to answer the question you're wondering, yes, it does snow here in Australia, especially where I live. It gets friggin' cold. So something like this is great to muck around with inside and to have a bit of fun with on those cold winter days when it's snowing or it's raining and you can't really do anything. So one thing I noticed with this car is that the original Micro T, you had a body pin here and a body pin there, and that's how you take the body off. However, this one is held on with Velcro, and the cool thing too is the chassis here is aluminium, or aluminum for my American viewers. It's got Proline wheels and tires on it and a Proline body, and I'm telling you, especially in this current age of RC, we're going to have a lot of upgrades. So, and that's another reason why I've got this thing too, because there's going to be a plethora of upgrades available as time goes on, and not just, you know, wheels and tires and bodies, but electronics wise as well. And that's something I want to do, because I know, like, even years ago with the original Micro T, there was who was it? Castle Creations did a brushless system for micro cars. So that is something I want to do with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera down here for a second and see if we can just get this to open up. I don't want to wreck it. I can tell you some bloody good Velcro there. Alright, so that's how that's how it opens up. And look at what the... Oh, that's for the motor. For a moment there I was thinking that, okay, that's good. For a moment there I thought Losi had packed it with the battery connected in. So because of its size, it's a 2-in-1 system. So it's a speed controller and receiver system. Got a small servo, and it is a brushed motor. Forget how many turns it is, but it's not meant to be really quick. But it also has a small LiPo battery, and if I remember, I'll have to have a look shortly, but obviously I'm being a typical man here and not looking at the instructions, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge this battery up and we're going to have a little bit of fun with it. Alrighty guys, so I set up some, I guess you could call them some crude jumps. I do have a 3D printer in my workshop. So I reckon in a later video where I do some upgrades on this Micro T, I'll have some jumps 3D printed. But for the most part, I mean, anyone who gets one of these, whether you're my age or young kid, are gonna make some simple jumps. And but before we go over a few jumps, I'll be honest, I had a quick run of this just before I turned the camera on, and the tires on it are so soft that hard cornering makes the tires screech, and I'll demonstrate. I find it absolutely hilarious. Oh, it's the simple things that make you laugh. But I mean, yeah, it seems to be very snappy. Now, if you find the steering to be like a little bit out of your control, you can adjust it on the dual rate switch here. Not a switch, it's more of a knob. So I've got it turned up all the way, so it doesn't really matter. But it's okay, so obviously I need to give myself a few driving lessons here. But I mean, for the most part, I reckon this will be a durable little truck. Ooh. Might have to adjust the aggression of the jump there. All that is just an instruction manual for one of my model aeroplanes and a pool noodle underneath. And it does backflips. There we go. I just love the tire screech. That's hilarious. I mean, this is stock standard out of the box. I mean, if I go over here and give it a quick speed run, I mean, out of the box with a little 2-cell lipo, and I think it's a 64 turn motor. I mean, and obviously, the motor's small, but I mean, it's quite snappy. I just love the tire screech. Oh, and I've lost it. There it is. But I mean, like, for an aggressive jump like that, it seems to handle it fairly well. Once you get used to the way it goes up the jump like that, but even stuff like that. I'll give it a full hit, see what it's like. All right, it does a backflip pirouette. But yeah, like I said, guys, this is just a instruction manual on a pool noodle. Nothing crazy. But it does seem to handle jumps pretty well, provided the person controlling it knows what they're doing. But I'm actually quite impressed with how this thing drives. But obviously you can't expect it to be perfect. But what we might do is we might take it outside and see what it's like on a bit of concrete and bitumen. Alright, let's see what this is like in the driveway. Of course. For what it is though, it's pretty damn quick. Takes the jumps all right. Pretty much anything's a jump. Lucky. Who would have thought such a micro car would be so much fun? Almost. I mean, look at that. I was hitting that gutter pretty damn hard, or like the entrance to my driveway. And look, just a little nick there and nick there. That's pretty good. But, I mean, even like there's little lips in my driveway there, it handles it pretty good. Like, it gets a little sketchy, but alright, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the workbench and we'll conclude the video from there. Well, guys, I can honestly say that I am so glad that I bought this little thing. I finally, achieved getting one of these. I'm quite happy with the way it drives. Obviously, you can't expect something like this to be, I guess you could say, race grade quality, but for what it is and who it's aimed for, it is a lot of fun. Although I do believe they used to race these sorts of things back in the day, or especially in the United States, not so much here in Australia. But I'm glad I got one of these. And it's a bit hard to compare it to the original Micro T that came out nearly 20 years ago. But looking at this, I'm actually quite impressed with what you get for what you pay for. I mean, Proline body, these are small, these are Proline, I think they're Badland tyres, or I mean, I'm pretty sure these are meant to be Badlands. They could be whole shots, I'm not too sure. But I mean, Proline wheels and tyres, and you know, Proline body. That's something, yeah, I'm impressed with that. The other thing I'm impressed with, it's all ball bearings throughout, and yeah, aluminium chassis, oil-filled shocks. I don't think the original Micro T had oil-filled shocks. If someone had an original one, tell me, because I'm pretty sure they were just friction shocks. But I do look forward to doing some more videos with this thing in the future. I do want to put a brushless system in this. The only downfall is that the way they've done this, and I'm pretty sure they did it with the original Micro T back in the day, but what they've got here, it's a Spectrum 2-in-1 system, and it's a speed controller and a receiver all in one. I guess it's just to save on weight. But I do want to put a brushless system in this, and just to see, you know, how stupid quick you can make this thing. And I mean, even the upgrades that are going to be available for this, even already, like, because I just got this here in the instruction manual here. There's a list of OEM upgrades you can get for it, like carbon front tower. There's aluminium hubs, spindles, caster blocks, drag links, servo mounts, servo arms. You got aluminium front and rear shocks, adjustable turnbuckles, and even different springs. And that's just the Losi brand stuff. And then there's going to be a lot of aftermarket upgrades available for this as well. And so I do look forward to having some fun with this and putting some upgrades on it just to see what it can do. So that is the end of this video, guys. If you have any comments or you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop a comment. I'll do my best to respond to your comments. But until the next video, guys, enjoy your hobby and cheers.